Hiya, WIZNU with you. Yeah, it's my birthday. And this is very impromptu, very last minute planning. Wasn't sure where I'd be or how I'd pull this off. But if you really know me, you know how much I love trees, and that's a beautiful one behind me. So, as the sun begins to sink slowly in the west, I am at Swami's Beach in Encinitas, California. Found out about this place from my friend Marco. I did invite him to this event, but he's been calling and texting me while I've been setting this up, and I've had too much to do to take any calls. At any rate, this will be up for posterity. Hear a nice birdie up above us. And behind me that way is the Self-Realization Fellowship, which has a location in Pacific Palisades that was for a long time really my favorite place on earth. Self-Realization Fellowship having been established long ago, about 100 years ago. Oh, we have a guest coming in. I don't know who Ava is. Don't seem to be able to add her. Let's see something in the chat. Yes, Ava, beautiful tree indeed. Thought I'd start with that. It's a nice view. Lots more that we'll walk around with as we go. So again, this is very unplanned. I don't have any banners ready. I am at Swami's Beach in Encinitas, California, right next door to the Self-Realization Fellowship. And I'm really here to interact with anyone that pops in. So, let's see, is it time yet to flip the camera? Sure, but who needs to look at me at this point? Ava, if you can go into the general chat, it'll be easier for me to see your comments. What platform are you on, and how did you find this? I put it out pretty broadly, although very last minute. So not just friends are seeing this, and I don't know who Ava is. All right, one more time. I'm going to pop over to that private chat. Fake book. Okay, you're not tech savvy. All right. Well, if you can chat on Facebook instead of in the private chat, that'd be great. It'd be easier for me to see your comments. All right, so I'm going to elevate the camera here. A slightly unusual camera setup here. Pull off the quick shoe and go mobile. So there is a big tree behind me, and this is the light stand that I'm using as a tripod, especially since my proper monopod was pilfered by the person that pilfered my entire office full of equipment. That's a long story. We're going to try not to go into today. Anyway, shall we ramble about Swami's Beach? I think for the moment, Ava and Ava Moon. Ava, I don't know why I'm not able to add you to the webcast. Perhaps because you have your camera off. So I'm going to flip the camera around. All these adjustments take a little bit longer than I would wish. But anyway, there you go. That's where we are.
Where'd you park?
It's a small parking lot, and after driving around a little bit, I did get a spot. So the Self-Realization Fellowship, right over that way. And let's have a look. There's a number of folks here. We're going to look at it from this angle first. Some amazing views up here. It's a rather high beach. At least this is a high view above the beach. And as you see over there, there's a long stairway that goes down to the beach. And although I bundled up in preparation for it will be getting dark and cooler, it is quite warm here today. It can't be much below 70 degrees, I would say. So just for perspective, those of you who may be not around Southern California, may be cooler where you are. Who's Brent Fulkerson? I have no idea. So that's the little little facility, and the big tree. My associate Marco has hosted many events over here with music performance, and you may notice that these are symbols of the Self-Realization Fellowship. Or at least reminiscent of Self-Realization Fellowship architecture. Isn't it lovely? So right in this general area is where musicians have often set up for performances. Generally on weekends, I believe. And indeed, it might be a rather lovely sunset today. Nice spot to sit and bring a meal. Let's see, we have another mention here in the private chat. Ah, you're in Pasadena. Thank you for chiming in, Ava. As often happens, there may be very few people joining me, no problem. There you are. Now, I see your comments without having to switch out of my control tab in the Streamyard interface. I am going to flip the camera. Bring myself back in. And a little bit of a discussion of some sort with someone, somehow. This is Encinitas. So Encinitas is almost, well, it's north of San Diego. Let's see, what's a good angle? Hey, Cindy. Come on to the camera or something? I'd love to see and hear you. Cindy and I go way back to Chicago. And I met her at a nightclub and did some of my favorite photography of my entire life with Cindy. Hiya. So I'd love to see anyone at all come on camera and share sound and visual with me. Well, let's see your garden, dear. Pictures or it didn't happen? This camera seems to be giving me a very high contrast image. I don't know about you. Yes, Carlsbad. Yes, no, Carlsbad. So Ava, tell me about you. I know all about Cindy. And here's the funny thing about the name that I was given. The name Michael means a lot to me, largely because it meant so much to my father. As a very sincere Roman Catholic, he named me after that big archetype Archangel Michael. And the last name is fascinating to me because WIZNU I have shaped to be a brand. WIZNU as in what is new. WIZNU with you. And indeed, I have always been more interested in others than in myself. So when I ask WIZNU with you, I really do want to know what is new with you. Yes, they tell me it's French. That's a long story. Anyway, the names we are given often have a great deal of power and significance beyond what we might realize. And so it can actually be dangerous to our path, our purpose, and our success in life to change one's name, as I have come to learn. That is going to be a topic for private chats. Part of the purpose of this video today is to preface my plan. I'm not sure when it will be truly activated, but it's coming very soon. I need to do this on a subscription basis for a number of reasons. One, because this is part of my calling, and partly because I want people involved who are able to contribute to the work that I'm doing and able to utilize the skills and resources which I bring to the table for those who would participate in these conversations. because these conversations will henceforth not be so casual. They will be very serious and goal-oriented and truly designed to assist and support the participants in these little videos, no matter where folks are. And I've been at this for a long time, and I have a pretty broad reach. So there's a lot coming. So for those that participate, there will be resources galore. But first, I need to know about you. I can't be of service to you unless I know what your skills, resources, and needs are. Then it's off to the races. We can do a lot together, collaboratively, supportively, and so on. So Ava, I'm still asking. Tell me who's new with you. Tell me about you. I wish I could flail the camera around more effectively. There's little birds running around on the ground. Folks joining us for the sunset. I'm going to go off camera again and just pan around. The back camera is higher quality and handles contrast better. Yes, Cindy, I agree completely. I have some albums that are just the sound of recording of ocean or stream. And I used them on WNUR radio as background sound. And then I would do layering, multiple layers of sound. My first radio show on WNUR radio at Northwestern University was, I opened with sound just like this. Haven't thought about that in a long time, but and then I transitioned to an album by Thembatana, 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 and it was ritual African drumming. And I brought it up very slowly. It was very long tracks. So I was able to do a very slow transition from just the pure water sound to then hearing the drums very quietly in the distance. It was probably about a 20-minute fade up transition. And the intention was that you were walking down the shore with the drums off in the distance. And as you walked closer, they very slowly became louder. and I made many other transitions during the course of that radio show. Even played electric bass. And I'm not a real musician. Now, you see all those small dark shapes in the background? Let's see if we can zoom in. I don't think so. You know, software leaves something to be desired. But you can perhaps zoom in at home. I hope that the resolution is sufficient. I hope we have enough signal. But there are definitely surfers at the bottom of the screen. There's a guy paddling out right now, bottom left corner, with the white cap coming toward him. Boom! There, I got him. And here's a guy coming in, riding that wave. You see him right center screen. Sorry, I can't zoom in. But what's off further in the distance, I can't tell if those are people on surfboards, because I'm not wearing my contact lens. I can see close, which is very useful for my being able to read the text on my phone as we communicate. Yeah, I think that is what that is, huh, out there, Cindy? This is a popular place to be for good reason, as you can see. The weather's amazing. I think guys are just out there floating, waiting for the right wave to come their way, right? For reals. Yep. Another guy coming in, almost center screen. I think he wiped out. I have never surfed. I can not really swim well. Almost drowned at the YMCA, so I have some trauma attached with water, which is really ironic being a Pisces, right? Cindy, come on camera so I can see you and hear you. Let's talk. I still want to interview you. You know I do. You know why. Okay, we have a third guest. I see there are 3 eyeballs on this webcast. Who's that third person out there? Watching our little webcast. Well, Cindy, maybe you will come out and visit me. What do you think? Maybe Ava will come down from Pasadena. It's not nearly as far as Chicagoland. Ah, Sunset Beach, San Diego. Very good, Ava. Ava, how are we connected, or whom do we know in common? Maybe you can tell me a little something more about you and such. Thank you. It's very sweet. Well, I'm just going to keep her rolling until the sun is down. We'll see who pops in. Sent enough notices out there that I figured some folks might be available to pop in. I am going to be planning more in advance and doing more regular webcasting very soon. There's a lot to show and tell about. There's a lot going on in our world. There's a lot of transitions coming. And I'm right in the middle of it. Yeah, I find the journey of Europeans across the continent to come to California quite fascinating. It really feels to me like kind of a promised land, kind of fabled destination energy. And worthy of being protected. From Chicago, Ava, and that is how I met Cindy there. This angle is not as lovely. It's you get too close to the fence and it's not that pretty. I'm gonna go back over this way. How about you, Ava, and your family? For those who may not know, the fabled Pasadena Rose Parade was created from ego. It was folks who had colonized California, so they say, had moved to California from the East, showing off by indicating we have so much life and foliage in January that we can waste it by bedecking these huge floats with flowers. Started with roses, I guess, but so many different flowers are used to decorate the floats in the Rose Parade. And of course it has to be, sponsored by the football. It's got to have the big corporate sponsorship. Big money, big sports. Cindy, are you still in Chicago per se? I'm forgetting. I think you're in one of the burbs. And I do want to know how your business is doing. The whole lockdown has been really rough for Cindy's business. Part of why I'd love to see her lovely face and hear her voice. I was on the northwest side of Chicago, Jefferson Park, which used to be the end of the train line that was later, during my lifetime, extended out to O'Hare Airport, one of the biggest airports in the world. There's a lot of guys out there just floating, enjoying the sunset. Alright, I'm so charmed by all these little birds running around. Let's see if I can show them to you. Probably a little scared away. Yep. They flip, they fly. The burbs south of Chicago. Sausage and beer and the bears. You love them accents. Chicago accent. Oh, here's a guy coming in, riding that wave. Too small for you to see, I bet. Even with my not so great distance vision, I see him, her. What about hummingbird? Did you see a hummingbird? I missed it. Devil in the White City. Place for the World Fair. Making a new movie with Keanu and Leah. Interesting. Sometimes pointing the camera, I'm missing the details. There's a fellow down lower left quadrant, paddling out, pushing out. As a Piscean, having moved from Chicago to California, perhaps we'll make a series of this. A little bit of conversation. Lots of lovely ambient sound. Go wash the dirt, Cindy. Cindy the gardener. Yes, the Chicago World's Fair. Oh my goodness. And there were World's Fairs elsewhere, right? Ancient architecture claiming to have been built for the World's Fair. Untrue, untrue. Hey, Taz Christie, thanks for dropping in. How cold is it in the mountains of Colorado? Ooh, 51. It's like a warm spring day in Chicago. I gather Cindy's gone, so I didn't get to find out what the temperature was in Chicago, but anybody could look it up in a weather app or online with the Googles. Yeah, World's Fairs all over the world, yeah. Yes, wink, wink, indeed. Tartaria. Yeah. And I'm sure that white streak up there is natural, too. Let alone those cloud patterns. I have friends that are quite ardent aficionados of studying such things. It does seem that there is no natural weather left in our world because weather is so easily created through geoengineering and paid for by countries. You can, I don't have the website URL off the top of my head, but You can literally go online and see that you have the option of buying the weather. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there are certain things that I don't mind saying on Facebook, but then there's other things that will just steer away from certain trigger words, and that is why these conversations are going to be going off to protected platforms. Not quite sure which ones exactly yet. Got some setting up to do. Oh, Peru landslide, buried over 80 homes, people missing. Sad indeed. That was recent. I'm certainly not watching television news. I stopped watching television so long ago I can't remember. It's so embarrassing to think back on when I was watching and enjoying television series like True Blood and Dexter. And participating heavily in the goth rock music scene and not realizing at all that all that stuff was gateway drug to, let's just say, traffic and cans of ballism. Can I? Ball? Ism? Yep, all TV and film is predictive programming indeed, as you know it. Geoclouds, San Diego, that paid for rains? Yeah, oops, flood? Yeah, back in the 30s, 40s. Yeah, when you're experimenting, you know, you may get a surprise. There's a song about that. It's a song called Rainmaker. Of course, it's just mystical, not technological, but I think the song is just called Rainmaker, and it's on a Kansas album, which my girlfriend had sung on because she was the wife of Steve Walsh, the lead singer of Kansas. Of course, when I dated her, she was no longer his wife. Excellent album, and an amazing song about a rainmaker who starts the rain and it becomes a flood and he has to get the heck out of town. Yeah, watching anything on TV is difficult indeed. Let alone what I understand about music. Really ruined live music for me, and most music. But that's okay, because I, along with many others, will create a new paradigm in music. New paradigms in music, holistic music. I believe that's why I'm in this strange world. I feel is my highest calling. And music has not been used fully in our, or optimally, shall we say, has not been used optimally in our endeavor to save mankind from extinction, from technocracy. There's a guy right in front of that wave. Here it comes. Oh. Kansas, the band Kansas. Remember Dust in the Wind? Carry On, My Wayward Son? I don't remember the title of the album now. I think the song was just Rainmaker. 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 I don't remember any of the other lyrics. Yep, it's starting to get cool out here. Less heat from that sun, whatever that sun really is. not likely to be 93 million miles away, but that's another topic altogether. It's a little pink sliver right underneath the brightest part. I'm sure you're not seeing the radiant color of that pink. It's probably some toxic chemistry or another. Most new content on television is set in the future, but not far, maybe 2050. Everyone has chips, everything's automated. Yeah. You're too old to live to see that future, but I don't believe that future is going to happen. I don't think that technology is going to work, and I don't believe that we're going to allow it to control our world. I think it's a dark, dark fantasy of those who believe they rule this world, and it has been written into science fiction for eons. How can one crazy place and chemtrail cover the sun? We have been asleep too long, indeed. You're fighting it, Taz? Well, let's collab. I don't see most people collaborating in strategies, but I have finally found some of the key elements, personnel and organizations that are capable of collaboration. It's been a struggle the last 3 years. A great, sad struggle. Right in the front edge of that white cap, boom, I think he went down. Yep. Whee! Yeah, fear is understandable, but we can address the psychological issues and challenges. I have a new associate I'm just beginning to talk collaboration with, who's very wise on that topic, because we really do need to address the underlying psychological challenges that have been wrought by these world changes. If people are going to be effective, I believe they need to be not in fear zone, of course. They need to feel confident and comfortable, and then thereby focused and proactive. I credit my family with why I feel fearless about all this, because I grew up in such a comfortable environment in my family that it's in my system. You can't scare me. Looking for a mutual assistance group in your new area. Community is everything, but people are very closed these days, not open to new people. It's been very difficult to meet new people and get them to open up. Thank you, Taz. What area are you in? You're in Colorado? Have you looked within Freedom Cells? freedomcells.org. Derek Brose, co-founder along with John Bush of Freedom Cells, is coming to speak at our event April 30th and May 1st. And I'm very excited about that. I knew I would meet him eventually and communicate. He went on tour across the United States and didn't even come to Southern California. That's how much people have kind of written off Southern California, but we have finally flipped that script now, and Southern California is really becoming what it could have, should have, would have been this whole time. Is the forefront of freedom. So we're about to rock that. It's so it says we can't be afraid forever. We have to use our power and our powerful beings. We are really powerful, but people don't know their own power. We need to be educated on how powerful they are, how their frequencies and their energy can change things. Indeed. Well, that is why the dark side has been targeting us, because they know better than we do who we are. And dark entities know who you are individually way before you do. That's why I was targeted. I didn't realize I was actively targeted throughout my whole life. And it sounds crazy. It sounds kind of pretentious and woe is me to even say such things. But I really feel it only makes sense because I understand who I am now. I had inklings throughout my life of who I am and what my role is and how significant. But I was also simultaneously two fish swimming in opposite directions. I was also very shy and overly self-effacing about it. And so I really hid my light under a bushel, as it were, which is the biblical story of, a big mistake, big sin, whatever. And so I've really been ineffective in my life. Just catching up now, but we got this. I feel that maybe the world wouldn't be so messed up if I'd actually lived up to my potential earlier. So I'm rambling for so long, but let's see what we say. Tennis says, yes, just moved to the far western slope of Colorado from North Carolina. Very interested in looking into that. Yes, please. Please create a profile on Freedom Cells. I've been telling this to people for years. It's the best way of finding people. I was so surprised when I finally discovered Freedom Cells. Various people, Max Egan and Richie from Boston, had created their attempts at networking organizations, and they were just ineffective and mediocre. And then finally I found Freedom Cells and logged in, and there was an Encino Freedom Cell. I was living in Encino. Like, what? In my sleepy little, it's a very upscale town, but I didn't expect there to be a trooper contingent. And I'm really close friends with, I'm very, a wonderful collaborative bond of trust with the founder of that Encino Freedom Cell. And I did an interview with him that I need to edit and then publish. It's going to be really significant. He's wonderful. He's really brilliant. Dan, that's teasing. Okay, so Ava says, it's in my system to challenge everything. I grew up in an orphanage, Catholic orphanage, and since then, we've been questioning pretty much everything. Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's got to be a great story. Can I interview you about that sometime? I've never heard, truth of, it's like to be in an orphanage. And Taz says, and I'm growing spiritually, getting attacked on many levels as you grow. Wow. Right. We should talk about that too. Ava says, what I mean about being targeted. At least to expect you're targeted. I've got a lot just in time. So that's what I thought I couldn't before. Oh no, I always knew I could, and I needed to. But it was scamper. Oh, sorry if the sound is choppy. That's weird that the video would be okay and the sound would be choppy. Video takes more bandwidth than sound usually. The sound is good, the video is problematic. Question everything is the best mantra of all. And fortunately, I got that from my honors philosophy teacher at Loyola Academy, all boys Jesuit College Preparatory High School, finest in the Midwest. And he was a lay person, he was not a priest, and he said, rule number one, the most important thing I teach you is question everything. Question me, question the school, question the Catholic religion, question everything. I'm sorry the feed's being disrupted. Oh my goodness. I wonder, does it help if I talk closer to the phone? Trying that. You know, it's amazing that we have good cell phone service at beaches and such. This one's quite close to civilization buildings and so forth, so it shouldn't be too surprising. But really, the more bandwidth we're exposed to, the less healthy we are. So it's a catch-22, right? Ralph Schneider warned about that well over 100 years ago. Back in the 19-teens, he observed that people were not thinking as clearly as they had previously. He lived from 1861 until about, 1925? And in the 19-teens, he perceived that people were not thinking so clearly, and that was basically AM radio and radar. Well, better a conversation with just a few people than nothing, huh? Nice and peaceful. Well, this is my birthday celebration, Taz. So thanks for being here with me. I don't know what the serendipity may bring. Thank you. Get back to work. Oh, farm life, never-ending work indeed. Shall do my best. Have a great evening. Who knows? Maybe somebody will invite me to something. You are quite welcome. Thank you for chatting. I'm enjoying the ocean view. Oh, much love back to you, Taz. Yeah, I'm getting closer to asking most appropriately. My mission requires a lot of help and support. But I need for it to be optimally explained, and so I've been really finessing everything about everything I do. And getting ready to truly do it right. Perfectionism is a difficult challenge. I don't recommend it to anyone. But once I finish something, boy, it's really good. Was it worth the time it took? Yeah. History will tell someday. Zipping up my layers. It's getting cool now, folks. You know, it happens fast, especially with an ocean breeze. This is kind of interesting. I've kept the camera steady for a while now. Phone camera. So if someone wanted to, you could scroll through it and speed it up. And watch it go. Now we got some serious paint going on. Huh? Bet you can see that. Down to one viewer now. Who's with me? Say hey. Can't tell who's there. We have a new viewer on the guest. I see a second eyeball. Who dat? Say hello. Let's have a conversation. I am not here for me, I'm here for you. You say hello. Type at me. And someone dropped out. Okay. No worries. It's a neat view of that pink glow out there. Hello, new viewer. Say hello, type at me. Type at me in the chat. I know who you are. Either you haven't missed the sunset. You've seen the vast majority out of it. Or you have seen the vast majority of it. It ain't done yet. When is the sun done setting? When is the sun done setting? It's totally black. Well, good people, I'm just here for you. Thanks for popping in. Live on Emirates. Pray that the peaceful flow soothes your soul. Yeah, that's my bad. That's the last time I'm going to lean a tripod up against a fence. The heck was I thinking? Not thinking.
I just saw it going out like, yeah, he is.
Thank you. Good eye, sir. It's my bad. I see 2 viewers. Who's there? Me, Ava, and who? Who's with us? Appreciating the divine beauty. Type at me. We're up to 3. It's our peak. Henceforth, I will get better to promote. I promise. But I actually kind of like the facility of only sharing with those few people that just happen to be available. You have nothing that to do. I wouldn't want to pull anyone from something more important in their real life. Just a little casual get together. We shall be getting more serious as time goes by, though, folks. I'm going to give us a little pan. Let's take a look at what we got across the sky. More lovely shades. And the moon. Whatever the moon is. A lot of theories about that. Anybody want to share their favorite theory about the moon? Is it made of cheese? That's my current composition. Right about there. That's nice. Oops. Alright. Puppy. There we go. Nice rich color now. This camera's about to get a little shaky because we are switching off of the gimbal. Hello, Z, who are you? I let you in the chat. You gotta show me a camera. Type at me. Okay, now we're gonna get stable again. Okay. Focus. Out of the gimbal. Into a ball head. It's not as elegant, but it was me. Catch a battery because the phone is running out of charge. I know. I need better hardware. It's coming. Received a little bit of funding, so I can buy a few accessories I need. Do better work. It's coming. Yeah. Everybody left me. Plugging in power. Now, the phone could run hours more. Yes, Ava, we have some chem lines. We have some patterns in the sky that look somewhat natural. It's a happy enough birthday. We have circumstances improving. And this is a beautiful location with good people participating, so can't ask for too terribly much more than that. And now I just leveled up the horizon line. Even better. Definitely getting cool out here, my friends. I'm gonna hang in there until the color is gone from the sky. What you think about that?
more happening. More hard for it happening.
You get like a gulpful of water in your mouth.
A lot of
Another awkward adjustment. I think that's nicer.
Oh wow, that's not a good current.
It's a little tilted.
Oils where the reef drops off. Like that's all sand and that's there's a rift that goes out over there.
Are those surfers?
Where? Those two people?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're surfing, but I think I've always surfed like Swami, like big time in my life. Yeah, it's super fun. I've surfed it, like I've surfed super fun sessions, and then I've surfed like other sessions where it's like and then when it's big, dude, I've sat like all year just watching it come. So big.
I see we have 3 viewers. Who's there with me? Type at me. Whatever platform you're on. Facebook, YouTube. Say hello.
Oh, that was sick.
Let's chat. That's what I'm here for. Alternatively, it's been rather nice just sharing the
When do you leave?
sound of the ocean and the beauty of the light. Isn't it? Yep. As Ava says, absolutely magical. Nature is amazing. Indeed. The source of nature, God, universe, who knows?
You're not mad at me when I bring it up, but then you get mad.
But somehow this was all created for us, with us. And there are forces that wield a very destructive envy energy toward this carbon-based life world. That is the nature of the war that we are in right now. Eva says, God created nature for us all. I have been studying nature's gifts, herbal medicines, and making them for about 10 years now. Mother Nature is amazing. It's wonderful. I want to know more about your work, Ava.
We thought about it, but
Your vocation, your avocation, whatever.
oh yeah, sorry, bro. I know you texted me something you're gonna tell me like yeah, we just kind of cruised a little bit earlier.
Your actualized love of nature and God in our world. We are approaching the era in which nature's gifts and herbal medicines return to prominence in our world. And it will only happen with our engagement, our involvement, our commitment to make that happen. It ain't gonna happen by trusting the plan and kicking back and waiting for somebody else to do it. You have to be involved. Your paid work is in legal. Your love work is in nature. You make them for your friends, family, and homeless friends. You will make it a business one day, but not to make a profit, but to help others. Indeed. To what extent have you studied the distinctions between legal and lawful, Eva?
Damn it!
I think it's on
I like really want to see a shark.
That is quite the hot topic in our circles.
Wait, what is
Oh,
that?
you know all about common law. Very good.
Is that an animal? That is? They have it fucking
PMAs and 508s and all that sort of thing. Are you hip to that? And if so, how does that,
I want to see a pin like so bad.
how are those structures engaged in your legal work?
Oh shit. The pink is a result of the air pollution.
Dude, what? Zane, you know how like some sunsets are green? You know what that's a result of?
Cooped?
Yeah. I didn't know
Co-opt?
that. I knew that because AC,
Co-opted?
AC is like aerosols and smog. That's why the sky turns pink. That's crazy.
Oh, like a coup.
Like, look how pretty it is.
Yeah.
It's like, aerosol.
Cood. That's an interesting word. C-O-U-P-E-D. Very few attorneys dare extend themselves from the corporate legal structures out into the common lawful structures. So I'm always curious when I hear that someone is in the legal
Yeah,
field.
we're at Swami's right now, but we're going back right now.
There are some very great, sincere ones. Interestingly enough, you're in Pasadena, and it was at Anthony Rose's Healthy and Free.us gathering that I met Nicole Pearson. Are you familiar with Nicole Pearson? Pearson. I met her in Pasadena. Shook hands, gave her my card. To be continued at a later date. And then I met her again at our January 8th freedomrevival.org/WeThePeopleCoalition.org event, which drew about 10, 12,000 people. We did good. Your legal work is in what some who know of as law of the sea. Please post links you'd love to look into more. Well, the best link I would recommend is that you take a look at our upcoming event, April 30th and May 1st, Liberties Horizon. And Liberties is spelled Liberties, horizon.com. Libertieshorizon.com. Liberties, horizon.com. Not exactly. Post that one more time, or you can delete that if you can. Take out the E. It's just Liberty. And no space, of course. So you could type it in so it's a clickable link. It's easier for you than me at this point. http://liberties horizon.com. It's a really big shoe. And if you go to that site, you'll see some big names affiliated. We are very proud of that event, as it has been developing into something truly wonderful. Unsurprisingly, the executive producer, Michael Petrano, is very wise and well connected. I'm honored to be serving that project. He is in Northern California, but we are hosting the event at the Encore Event Center.com down here in San Diego. So I was kind of kind of the lead point person, producer down here in the San Diego area. Although it's being led by the executive producer up in Nevada County, Northern California. Nevada County, of course, features Nevada City. And our friend Renette Senum was mayor of Nevada City until she resigned because she couldn't get anything done with the city council, the way they were obfuscating everything she was endeavoring to do. She's an extremely wise, very special woman, running for governor of California, and I fully support her. Hoping to do so proactively very soon. She, of course, will be one of our speakers at Liberties Horizon. IMO.org? What does IMO.org stand for? I'm not familiar with that. Our work, legal pages, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Indeed. My goodness. How intriguing. And how apropos that you have been my companion here on my birthday. It's getting dark. We still have a bright sliver at the bottom. Amazing how effective these camera sensors can be, especially given its almost microscopic size on my iPhone XS Max here. Oh, International Maritime Organization. Yes. Ironic that maritime is the law of the land. Wait, what? So when I look up at the sky, it looks there's more contrast and brightness in the phone image, the camera image, than there is in the sky. It's interesting. It's adding contrast. It's not precise color. The color is a little bit pinker than it looks on my phone anyway. The phone is graying it out just a little bit. Yeah, well, our whole world is based on piracy, really. It's, government structures are criminal in nature. Gee, can I say that on Facebook without getting kicked off? I met Jordan Maxwell a long time ago, maybe 2009. He showed me a 3-ring binder of his papers and basically his diplomatic license plate system. At that point, I was still like, what? What? How? Huh? What? We took a picture together. Yeah. Interesting opportunities to meet folks. Boy, I completely forgot to tap on some of these. But, of course, it covers up the sunset, so really it's not good. Okay. I'm going to undo that. Now, what do I undo it? Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to read it instead. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea was adapted in 1982. It lays down a comprehensive regime of law and order in the world's oceans and seas, establishing rules governing all uses of the oceans and their resources. It embodies in one instrument traditional rules for the uses of the oceans and at the same time introduces new legal concepts and regimes and addresses new concerns. The convention also provides the framework for further development of specific areas of the law of the... I think the comment field has truncated your words. Yeah, speaking of oceans, anybody want to place bets on how many more minutes before blackout? Speaking of nature, our national parks now belong to the United Nations. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I cling to strong belief that certain circumstances in our world will be changed because government, quote unquote, government derives its just powers from the will of the people, from the consent of the people. We do, if we properly function in such a way as to demonstrate that we do not consent to tyranny and destruction, can affect our world more effectively. Tex Mars, that rings a bell. National parks belong to the UN. Lovely. I don't trust them, do you? Even that tiny bright sliver there, I have a hard time bringing myself to press the end button and cut it off, you know? Just a little light over there. Yeah, on paper, they are making sure they own everything. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Yeah, how do you define happy, Klaus? We will pump you so full of drugs, you will be happy. You will be glued to your television like in the film Wall-E. You will be fat and happy. You will be fat and happy. Satan Claus. Santa Claus. By the way, that music's not coming from me, but it's kind of an interesting counterpoint to the ocean, huh? Alright, that bright line is getting so dim it's almost playing tricks on one's mind. What is it? Oh no! Facts galore, bring it on. I am here for you to present your perspectives, your wisdom, and share and connect, optimize resources. That's my raison d'etre. Which will eventually result in the joie de vivre, which has been not quite as dim as this image, but dimming. Got a little less joie de vivre than we deserve lately, eh? I'm committed to bring it back. We're lining up the right people. David Martin's supposed to participate in our event, probably in person, but his schedule is tough. Man, he's popular. And one of our leading lights in terms of efficacy, so it seems. Sasha Stone's coming up from Mexico. A whole bunch of common law folk are speaking. And the inimitable Peggy Hall, the Healthy American, and Foster Gamble from the Thrive Films and the Thrive Solutions Hub, and Derek Brose from Conscious Resistance, freedomcells.org, and the Great Tour, reset.org. So we're very enthused about our Liberties Horizon event. Even if you couldn't be bothered to type it in properly and make it a clickable link, Eva. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thanks for noticing. I'm about to get a lot more effective very soon. I've been sabotaged and targeted, as we discussed earlier, and not as effective as I could have, should have, would have been. But in another sense, I've been biding my time and preparing things. And you know how Sun Tzu and Donald Trump and others say, appear weak when you're strong and strong when you're weak. I have been happy to appear weak. Let them think I am. I will have the last laugh. Mankind will have lots of last laughter. That's what really matters. I'm just being of service to mankind. Ultimately, mankind will triumph, and this world will become a beautiful place, even more so than it has been lately. Perhaps some ancient civilizations were even more radiant and extraordinary than our future, or perhaps we will create our greatest future yet, our greatest existence in our future. Man, you look back at the architecture of the past and the star forts and quote Greco-Roman architecture, unquote, pyramids, so much more. This has been an amazing world. We have an extraordinary future ahead. Well, all right. There's just a little headlamp illuminated brick wall in the corner of our image. But the sky is quite dark. There's a tiny bit of light along the left-hand side and a little sliver toward the right. But I think that's a wrap, Ava. You have any closing words? I'll give it a minute or so if you have anything you want to chime in on. Thanks for keeping me company. I love these serendipities of just a couple of people. It's a nice, surprising intimacy. Your research confirms we are not progressing, we are regressing. Well, are we regressing to a better, healthier realm as we had prior to the last 100 years, prior to Rockefeller medicine? How do you mean regressing? We'll find out. Much love to Ava and Cindy and Taz and everyone else who has been a part of this little webcast or who becomes part of it in the future. Love and blessings. Cheers.